I'm from the same place as trap music. This that first react music. They can't hold me back. I'm feeling good cause I'm black music. Can't nobody touch.
Happy Sunday and welcome back to another episode of Cigar Sundays Live, where we define, examine, and analyze words, sayings, and phrases used in American culture. And tonight we are smoking on gambling. So grab your thinking caps and get ready to smoke on words with two big nerds, myself, Chef Earl Pearl at DBCHEFTV, and the God, Ali Dawood L at BK Soul Farm. And we are the Cigarden Panel. Peace, God. How you feeling?
Peace, God. I'm feeling good, man. Productive as always. Had a productive and pretty busy week as you know. You know what I'm saying? Happy to be here. This got an interesting topic, so this will be fun.
Yeah. Gambling. Gambling.
How about you? How you feeling?
Oh man. Blessed to see another day as always, God. You already know. And man, just looking forward to the upcoming week. And thankful that we made it through the past week because we had a lot of stuff going on. So we're getting things done and looking forward to the holiday. And we're gonna celebrate. Good times, come on. Yes, indeed. That's what we're gonna do. And before we get into the show, y'all, head on over to www.bksoulfarm.com and pick up your copy of 1016 160 Self-Sustainability by that brother right there, Ali Dawood L at BK Soul Farm. Link is in the description. And also enter to win $100 cash. We give away $100 cash each and every third Sunday of the month right here on Cigar Sundays Live. But what you got to do is you got to subscribe to DBCHEFTV on YouTube. Link is in the description, y'all. We want to show love to y'all for showing love to us. And we also got links for merch in the description. So, like we always say, if money's tight, it's all right. We're going to still love them if they do what, God?
Smash that like.
Smash that like button. Please, thank you. Sugar on top. All that. Gamble with it. Roll the dice. And let's get into tonight's smoke. Let's get into tonight's smoke, y'all. So we got 5 questions and we are smoking on gambling. First question, what do you think of when you hear the word gambling? 2, is gambling a moral issue, a financial issue, or a personal freedom issue? 3, what are the pros and cons of gambling being normalized in today's culture? 4, should we draw lines between investing, entrepreneurship, and gambling? And then 5th and final, last but never least, is the word gambling bad, good, or misunderstood? And you know what y'all got to do. You got to stick around to the end of the show for the Cigarden Panel to let you know what we think, what our insight is, and whether it's bad, good, or misunderstood. We encourage everybody to, if you following us in the live, in the chat, answer the questions as we go along with it. And we're going to keep you involved in the show, or leave it in the chat below, depending on when you catch the show, if you catch it on the re-air or when it's posted. So let's go ahead and get into our first question. What do you think of when you hear the word gambling? The God, Ali Dawood L at BK Soul Farm.
Peace, God.
Peace, God.
You know, honestly, like gambling is tricky for me, right? Like, so when I first think about it, I only hear uncertainty. I hear risk.
Uncertainty, right? Risk, those good words.
I hear not enough information, right? There's fear. Right? When I hear gambling, right?
Okay.
at the very same time, right behind fear, I also think a scared money don't get no money, right? So you have to take chances.
You don't make no money,
right? So like it's tough, right? Like you know, I think about my grandfather playing the lotto, right?
Okay.
Or
Family history.
Or the numbers or whatever, right? It's like had he hit, like, life changing, you know what I'm saying? Like that's the reality, and that's what he was always thinking, right? That's why he played. But I always saw him not hitting like that. You know what I mean? So it was like, how many of these dollars, $2? Do we just keep, you know, not throwing away really? Because if you hit, like, it ain't a throwaway, right? It turns into like a real thing. So like I got like mixed feelings about it, right? Like, so on one hand, I'm scared to death, and on the other hand, I know that you can't go nowhere staying scared, right? Like you got to move even if you are scared, right? That's just how survival works. That's what I got.
Okay. So right now, y'all, we answering our first question. What do you think of when you hear the word gambling? The God just gave a lot of good things, man. Family history, risk, fear, uncertainty. Scared money don't make no money. You know, we got another one. You know, don't gamble with your life. Right? We hear that one. Man, but what that's one thing right there. Don't gamble with your life. It's kind of confusing now thinking about it. Different perspective, but
right. It's confusing now, right?
Well, those sayings, you know, even those the sayings, but like some of the other things, like the family history, the fear, the uncertainty, the risk, all of those things come to mind. You know, all of those things come to mind, come to shape and form when you talk about gambling. I do have one that is wins and losses. You know, losses and wins. When I think of gambling, I also think of types. You know, like types of gambling. Like what are we talk? What are we risking? What's the game? You know, because it's some type of game. That's what I'm thinking. Like it's a gambling. It's got that, like you said, it's got that risk, but it also is that reward. You know, it comes with. It seems like it comes with both of those. So that's why I say the wins, the losses. And now how we look at it is the wins, the learning lessons. So we win, even if we lose, or even if it looked like it's a loss to somebody else. Now we won.
Yeah.
Because we learned something. You know, and I ain't stupid. I like learning. You know, so you know, but yeah, that's you know, my cliche, don't gamble with your life. Wins and losses, playing a game, some sort of a game. Yeah, so that's what I think of when I hear it, you know, and the family history stuff as well too.
Yeah,
you know, the family history stuff as well. So yeah, so y'all let us know what you think of when you hear the word gambling in the chat, or depending on where you're watching this at, because we're going to go to the definition now and see what gambling actually is. If we even came close, or if any of the things that we have line up with those thoughts, those insights. So let's pull this up. Okay, so we have gambling, and we have a noun. Gambling is a noun, and it is the practice or activity of betting, the practice of risking money or other stakes in a game or bet. And then we have here, it says often used before another noun. So, like illegal gambling, a gambling game, gambling regulations, gambling empire. But it is simply the practice or activity of betting, the practice of risking money or other stakes in a game or bet.
That's interesting, God. Like they call it, like it's saying the noun, and I guess the thing that it is the practice of betting.
It's the practice or the activity, be engaged in it. Yeah.
That sounds like a verb. That should be like something. It should be a verb, like an action to me. But you know, the way I see it in my mind, like I'm actually learning something right now. Like
what nouns are person, places, or thing.
Correct.
Right. So this was clearly a thing.
See, I would have thought I would always consider gambling like an action, like something that you was doing. But yeah, I got it though. Is you bet.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that though. With the ing, it seemed like it's doing something. Yeah, it seems like you're doing something because the ing.
Like you're in the process of doing something.
But you really are though, in a real way though. You really are. The practice, the activity, you are inging. You are inging.
That's interesting.
You're in the game, you know. Or if it's a bet, it's live. You know. When the money on the line, you're risking the money. Put the money on the wood. It's on the wood now. It's either coming off in your hands or coming up in somebody else's hand. So we're going to go to the thesaurus and see how gambling is given to us in the form of synonym. And we get it once as in betting. To risk something on the outcome of an uncertain event. And let's get these similar words: betting, wagering, putting, playing, staking, offering, laying, going, bidding, speculating, venturing, jeopardizing, endangering, adventuring, chancing, hazarding, and imperiling. And all these things got one thing in common. They inging.
Like a
They all is inging. That's not proper grammar. But that's what they are doing. Okay. So we can see this in so many different forms of, of application. Especially when we look at it, to risk something on the outcome of an uncertain event. I mean, like that's so. And they gave us a simple thing: a foolish man who gambled his life savings on the lottery. You could keep your brain there, or you could say, you risked, you risked your diploma by not going to class.
Yeah. Like I'm looking at these words, God, like they got jeopardizing up here. That only sounds hazardous.
Yeah.
Endangering and hazarding. Imperiling. I don't know, man. Like I was thinking that investing was
I mean, even laying is there. It might not be the same laying used in the same context, but I mean, we've said, man, you laying around, you ain't getting no work done, ain't nothing gonna happen for you.
That's true. Adventuring. Yeah.
Because even going, you know, we might, what if we heard in context, you going to work, but if you ain't doing nothing, you ain't gonna have nowhere to go in a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Even though going is a part of doing, because you're in the process, but the outcome might be uncertain.
Wow.
So we definitely know when you place a bet, talking about staking and wagering, playing a game, betting, we know that you don't know what the outcome is going to be of that.
Speculating.
Speculating. And we can see these things in different forms right here when we say speculating. Okay, so when it comes to me investing, I say I'm a speculator. Because you think something may do something, but that doesn't mean that all of your information is always correct. That don't mean that it's always going to be accurate. It doesn't mean that things don't change along the way. So if you actually are risking something on it, then you want to watch your investment, because you may not know. It may not turn out the way you want it to, because it's uncertain.
It may turn into a gamble.
You know, but I think it's already a gamble.
The whole time, right?
Yeah. I think it's already a gamble the whole time.
The whole time.
Yeah. I've never looked at it like that, like it not being a gamble. You know,
nah, you ain't never lied. Like,
yeah, I never looked at it like not being a gamble. Once I realized that it was a casino, then it was just learning how that casino operates versus Vegas. A Vegas table, you go in, you might bet big and win big for the instantaneous.
Mm-hmm.
The stock market, you could bet big and win big too, instantaneous. You could, right? But that's kind of like doing the same thing. But one of the differences is if I put all my money on the table and lose in Vegas, if I put all my money on the table in the stock market, I can make a stop loss. You know? So I may not.
They're just gonna take it in Vegas.
Yeah, like I may not lose everything, you know, I may lose some of the capital, but I may not lose it all on that particular bet, you know? So I like those odds better because it's a little bit more rails versus going to Vegas and, you know, letting your ego control you at the table, like, because we ain't gonna do that in the stock market. But then even venturing, right? They got all these venture capitalists.
And I was thinking, I was like, so are they? Is that a gamble? Like for real?
Yeah, they're gambling, because just because somebody give you the money for your idea, don't mean your idea gonna always, you know, turn out the way you are.
That's true.
Hoping that it do right there. Like things change along the way. If you could still land that plane when you got the venture capitalists to invest, or the private lending to invest, then yeah, that's great. Everybody's happy. They give you some more money. Somebody will be happy for what else you got in your brain? What else you got up there? You know? But it's still a gamble.
That's true.
Because what if it takes longer? What if your return was five years? You know, but you ran into something that you ain't even had no control over. Something geopolitical made it COVID, where you can't even get doors or you can't even get windows. You know, or a canal is shut down, or a strait is shut down, a waterway. So you're limited this stuff and these supplies and these materials to do this stuff and all that. Like, yeah, that's gonna mess up. That's gonna mess up that payday for sure. That gamble. So yeah, I think it's all gambling. I think it's all gambling. And then there's more ways that I think that is gambling too, but we're gonna talk about those as the show continues. Y'all smash that like button, please. Y'all rocking with us. But we have gambling, y'all. We're looking at the definition: the practice or activity of betting, the practice of risking money or other stakes in a game or bet. Okay. So y'all let us know what y'all think about that definition. And we're going to get to our second question. Is gambling a moral issue, a financial issue, or personal freedom?
Put it up again, God. Let me see it again. You said moral, financial, or personal freedom?
Question number 2. Is gambling a moral issue, a financial issue, or a personal freedom issue?
So I think it all comes down to personal freedoms, right? Like, you can do what you want to do if, as a responsible adult. And I guess you also have the right to fail your family, right? If that's what you choose to do, if your addiction takes over. I don't know. I'm leaning more towards the personal freedoms, because the like morality, yeah, I think that's man-made. Like, I think people pick and choose, and I don't think we have a set morality that we all agree on. For me to say that that's that. And it's definitely a financial issue, but if you're the casino, you know what I'm saying, like, you winning, right? I guess it's just, and if you got a high hand, I guess I don't know, man. Like, I'm leaning more towards the personal freedoms. Like, when I saw that, like, all my mind went straight to that. Like, I think everybody should be able to make the choice for themselves, as long as that choice don't infringe on nobody else, right? Like I said, unfortunately, I do think that failing your family and letting people down is something that you have the right to do. It sucks, but yeah, that's what I got. I think it's a personal freedom is the answer for me.
No doubt. No doubt. I think it's a little bit of all three mixed in there. And we'll start with the moral. So, like, I don't gamble because of, like, one of the things we talked about earlier, like family history.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say play the lotto, or let me say gamble in the form of, since we'll be having the discussion about it. So, like, I don't gamble in the form of playing, so like sports betting, going to casinos, um, cards for money, um, shooting dice. So like I don't gamble like that, playing the lotto, none of that stuff. And it was because growing up, I seen people that I love have addictions. And part of their addictions was gambling. So did I see them winning? Yeah, was it happy times when they were winning, of course. But what I saw that I didn't like was the chase. And I'm not a chaser of anything, you know, except for a little chaser in my drink every now and then, depending on what I got, what I'm sipping on.
Word.
So that became a moral thing for me, you know. It wasn't. It doesn't fall for me in the financial category or the personal freedom, you know. Because it is personal freedom-ish though, when now examining it, understanding that like I have a choice to do what I want to do. So it's relative. But it became a moral thing for me because like you said, there's no set standard of morals. People have their own. So that's one for me. It's to where I'm like, I don't have a problem being around people, knowing people and stuff like that. But they have to understand if I go with you to that environment, like I'm gonna hurt your feelings if you're trying to encourage me.
Just let me just be your company.
Yeah, like let me just chill and sip drinks, you know, like I'm just gonna sip drinks, you know. Like if my wife is with, if it's a family affair, then she gonna gamble. She, you know, she gonna hit the slots and you know, and I'm just gonna watch her and you know, whenever she win, be like, oh nah, we won that. All right, we taking that off the table. Right. You know what I'm saying? We like we playing with the house money now. Here's what we got. You know, so I'm gonna do that, but I'm not gambling. It's not, I don't find any joy in that, you know, like so it became a moral thing to me. Like, you know, like morally, I'm just like, I can't put hope in that form of gambling. Because like we talked about earlier, the loss is instant. You know, it's not even like, it's like game over, start over, start again.
It's gone.
You know, so I don't like gambling like that. I prefer, you know, things that like you could put a stop loss in. You could, you know, hold on, even if you bought something and you went on vacation or something, and you wasn't even checking your portfolio, but then you came back and seen you was down 15%. You was like, why did I even buy that? Okay, but let me go ahead and sell that. You know, like, but you still have an asset. You still have something. You don't lose all your stuff, even if it go down and you wait for it to go back up because you understand.
Correct.
That, you know, that that technology and that the environment is moving in a certain direction. So there are going to be certain investments made. You hear the government making them and things like that. So I like that type of stuff where you get a little bit more information. You got to be a little bit more strategic, you know. And that's where it comes with the personal finance aspect of it, where it's like, okay, I don't want to just lose. I don't want to just risk something and lose it. I want to be able to have some barriers in place so that way I get more than one shot at it. You know, because I know I'm not lucky like that. You know what I'm saying? You know, like I shot dice before. I've been through the casino before. You know, like I did it, you know, and it just wasn't
lucky, God.
Lucky. You know, I realized I gotta work for mine. I gotta show mine gonna be a little bit different, you know. And I'm okay with that. So I respect it. But that's where that personal finance things comes in, because it's just like, is this even, to me, it's like I'm standing there like, is this even smart? And that's what I'm thinking in my brain. I'm not ruining nobody else's time if I'm there hanging with, because I'm there to hang and have a good time and encourage, and I could be a hype man because it ain't my money that's being lost. You know, that's what I'm saying. Like in his drinks, yeah, I'm chilling, but for myself, personal finance decision, I feel dumb. I feel dumb. I feel like, you know, I'm risking this money. I don't know if I'm going to win or not. I'm just gambling it like this in this fashion. And I could be putting this money somewhere where it could be making some money for me while I'm asleep. So I'd rather just be spending money on the drinks and having a good time and good food and the ambiance than rather participate in them, you know, the hope the red light gonna go off. You know, I'm like, my light bulb is always
if it do though, God, if it do.
Oh, for wifey, if it do, yeah, yeah. I'm glad you did that. You know?
Hell yeah.
It's a balance. You know, it's a balance.
Yeah, lying,
you
God,
know, but if she send me in there, then she know I'm coming back the same way I left.
Facts.
You know, so when it comes to the personal freedoms, you know, I don't even think that it is a personal freedom. Honestly, I think a lot of people gambling either are addicted to it or they're trying to subsidize some other income. I think that's the majority of people who gambling like that. People who gamble, like, do a lot of sports betting on fights, betting anything they could bet on, you know.
Subsidize income though?
I think they trying to subsidize some income, yeah. Yeah.
Scary.
Because a lot of people's mindset is like, damn, they may have a job where they can't even work the hours to get some of the extra stuff that they want, right? They would actually have to, they have more wants than needs. Their needs probably met, but they got a lot of wants, but they don't make enough money to get the wants. To overly get the wants and meet the needs. They will have to take something from the need in order to get the want, or wait and save, you know? So the wait and save is the wise thing. All right. And then just pay for it cash. And then now you have it. You know, like now you have it. You know, like you actually are owner of it. But for a lot of people they take discipline, but it take a longer time. So thinking I can gamble, I could possibly take a little bit from this place right here. And if I put it on here and just if I just get this, then I'll be good. If I could just hit, if it just do this, then we'd be good. So I think that is where a lot of that is really not personal freedom, is actually addiction and it's probably some slavery debt, some debt to slavery, some slavery to debt type thing going on, because staying in debt like that is like a constant cycle where it's like you learn to use debt in a good way, you know, because it's bad debt and it's good debt. But the good debt is, you know, using some debt to offset, you know, a tax, or, you know, like selling property, or borrowing it to invest in something, you know, versus a whole bunch of swiping on my credit card for stuff. You know,
because you can't remember what you did, what you got for it.
Or you know, all the auto loans and stuff like that. Like any of that stuff where it's like, unless you're going to work and you writing off some fuel and some mileage, or you Ubering, or you starting a car company or stuff like that, you know, like any of those type of things, you know, it's better to make sure you can afford what you have and then just maintain.
I see that.
But I think that's the personal freedom of that is not there when it comes to a personal finance thing. I think that's not, it's no freedom in that. And that's why we keep seeing people doing it over and over and over and over and over again, because the casinos ain't going out of business, you know. And I know plenty of people that go to the casino and they just be like, man, I ain't know what I was going to do. I just went down to, and some people hit, some people, that was where they were supposed to go. And they received, they got lucky. The red light went off, but watching people go to that lotto line and run numbers up and play, when I started looking at how much money somebody would spend a week, even if I look at what my granddad did, my granddaddy, when he was playing, if I'm looking at just what I knew before I was born, I mean, when I was born, not what my mom and them and her siblings, what they knew prior to me being born.
Correct.
Okay. I'm looking at what I knew through just for me being born through my teenage years. If that money would have went into something that was, I mean, back then they was giving high interest rates, because that was in the 70s when they had super high interest rates on stuff. I mean, that's when paper could actually get some yield, And I just look at those things, even if it was a paper product and you held that for 30 years, like easy millionaire, easy. Even just buying precious metals, then, easy millionaire in today's dollars, and that was just lotto tickets, that was $300, $400, $500 a night, so you got to think you got to have some money to be able to spend that type of money a day, and gambling, even if you hit a couple times every now and then, so y'all let us know what y'all think. Is gambling a moral, a financial issue, or a personal freedom issue? Let us know what y'all think. Our third question of the night: what are the pros and cons of gambling being normalized in today's culture? What are the pros and cons of gambling being normalized in today's culture? Because today we have all these different gaming apps, all these different betting apps and things like that people have to be able to, just bet right on your computer, right on your phone.
Before you said that, I was only thinking about the lotto and really primarily lotto. And I was thinking like the only real pro is, I think the proceeds, some of that go to like the infrastructure to like the cities and the states and stuff like that. And I'm like, that's good. It's like, but that's about it. But when you bring in like those apps on people's phones and whatnot, I think that only goes to your point, fuels the addiction, right? Like I don't think it benefits because it's right there and it's fun looking and it's you ain't got to go nowhere, right? Like you can just do everything you want to do right there, and I don't know, man. It's just if we can just give away our money almost like it don't matter, it kind of makes you wonder why people asking for so much money, right? Like they just keep giving it away. I don't know. It's weird. Like I don't really see too many pros, right? Because I don't hear about a lot of people winning. And for me, when I say I don't hear about it, I'm talking about in my circle, or I will even accept a friend of a friend in this circumstance. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Like I'm one of those people, like I kind of need to know like direct source of information for me to, jump out and download the app and say, yo, I got to get that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's weird. Like I don't really see too many pros, right? Because I don't hear about a lot of people winning. And when I say I don't hear about it, I'm talking about in my circle, or I will even accept a friend of a friend in this circumstance. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Like I'm one of those people, like I kind of need to know like direct source of information for me to jump out and download the app and say, yo, I got to get that. But I would even accept a friend of a friend. I haven't even heard that. I haven't seen no social media posts of winners. I only see advertisements of people winning these gambling things. I won $800. I won $900, and all I did was download the app.
Yeah.
Right. But I don't never see anybody that I know that downloaded that app and made a video to say, "Yo, son, download that app. I got $800." I would download that app. You know what I'm saying? Not for nothing. So yeah, I just see nothing but just ways to trick us out of our money, to further corrupt our whatever morality that we may have, because it's just making it easier for us to part from our resources. And if you are apart from your resources, you're now vulnerable to do, whatever to get what you lack in. Right? Something strange for some change. And that's risky. Right. So to me, that's like the biggest, like that shit is.
Yeah, anything strange for change got risky all over. Sound a little bit frisky.
You know what I'm saying?
Sound like it ain't just risky. Sound like it's gonna get frisky too.
You know, God. So yeah, that's what I got, man. I don't see no real benefits, man. Like I said, at least with the lotto, like that goes. I think it goes to some infrastructure, and because we're citizens and we need to walk the streets and drive our cars and ride our bikes and walk at night, so we need the lights and stuff like that. So I think the lotto goes to some of that, right, or something.
The schools, I think most of it goes to the school system.
The school system.
But it's wild how the lotto, while we on that, how the lotto goes to the school system.
That is true.
And so do property taxes.
That's true.
And I'm like, it's a lot more people playing the lotto than it is homeowners. So,
right. Right. Yeah.
It's a lot more folks playing the lotto than it is, because they trying to hit the lotto so they can stop having to pay rent, or or buy a home cash, because they want the mansion. They hoping the light go off. So it's more those folks than it is homeowners. And that's why the lotto generates so much more revenue. But they say it goes to school. So I don't know. I
know it's infrastructure, right? So it's something for everybody. It benefits. So it's something that you can justify a little bit. But everything else, I don't know what that. To the developer's pocket, I guess.
I don't know. It's interesting though. Right now, y'all, we on our third question of the evening. What are the pros and cons of gambling being normalized in today's culture? And we were just discussing that because we see, like the guy was saying, we still had the ticket lines, going to go play the 3-digit, the 4-digit, Keno, the midday, noon, evening. What else they got? They got the Powerball, the Mega Millions. They got all of it, right?
Numbers just keep going up.
They got Cash for Life. They got Cash for Cash. They got all this stuff, all these games to play. And if that wasn't enough, then we have the apps on the phones that gives you access to sports betting, which was once illegal and now it's just in the palm of your hand. So yes, it does further the cons. And we'll stop. We'll go with the cons first and end on a positive note. That is the cons right there. Like, it is just continually feeding into people's addiction and encouraging it. The state lotto, I don't know. I wouldn't say as much because you have to still go to the store to play it. But people religiously go to the store to put in their numbers. You know?
Well, why is the money, son?
Yeah, you know. So you know, then they got scratch offs too. So it's one of them things where it's like, you know, it's there and it's easily accessible, but then having it on the phone too is something for everybody. So let's say if you're a person who spend cash, because I think you still have to play the lotto with cash. I don't think they swiping for lotto. But then online, digital, bam, you got a card. So whatever account you're using, you know, you can just go ahead and make your transaction. So they have it covered all across the board. Matter of fact, I think you can even play the state lotto online. Don't quote me on that. But I think my wife was telling me that you could play the state lotto online. So that's a con to me. You know, that's a con because it's too easily accessible for any person to get involved at any moment out of destitute or desperation. And it comes with that. You're risking it all. It's one shot or none, you know. And I can imagine being a person that is like down to their last, don't know what else to do. And the only thing that they think is an option for them is to go play a number or to bet on tonight's game. So that element being alive and well in American culture is, you know, it is just feeding. It's like, will it not be a thing? Well, it will continue to be a thing as long as there's a thing to be had. So as long as the arena is there and the tickets are being sold, people will still keep pulling up. Now the pro I have for it is somebody will get rich. You know, you got to play the game to be in the game. So somebody will get rich. It will affect somebody. And if we take it on another level of gambling, where we say, okay, don't gamble on your life. Where we look at, let's take it to the practice or what was it, at the synonyms, when we saw to risk something on the outcome of an uncertain event. So that was gambling as in betting. So we do that in other ways too, and that's the pros, where I'm betting on me getting this job because I wouldn't put in this application and I had a good interview. But you don't know if you're going to get it or not. That's an uncertainty. But you did everything that you think that was valid enough. You felt confident about the interview. And I could be putting my time into something else. But this is what is the thing that I'm betting on, is I'm gambling on right now. So that way I can get whatever I see as the value in that bet, in that gamble. And to me, that's a pro, because I think we do that with everything, you know, unless we messing up that money. What we call funking up that money. Some people funk the money up. But I think that, you know, that's still a gamble. And, you know, that's just one example. But I think it's Many examples, that's the pros. If we're not just talking about gambling and betting on a game, playing on tickets, you know, if we talking about a risk that's being taken on an outcome of an uncertain event, then there's so many other forms of life where we take risks and don't know the outcome of the event. I even use myself when we was talking about getting a job. Well, I joined the Coast Guard, didn't know what the outcome was going to be, took a risk. So I didn't know when I joined that I was going to retire. I didn't know that when I joined because, like, my first tour, I wanted to get out. I didn't. My second tour, I wanted to get out, and I didn't. So, well, into my first enlistment, into my second enlistment. And I still hadn't got to that halfway point where people be like, well, you did 10. Now was the time where you're going to decide whether you want to do more or you want to take the door. So that's what I'm talking about. Still uncertain. And it was a risk. But I look at it was a pro in that, because if that experience through taking that risk helped me, even if I had gotten out or it ended up the way it did, then even have getting out, I still had all those things that I was able to obtain through that work experience, through that that technical experience, and all of the stuff that came with that, being attached to it, going to go find work somewhere else. So I think that we do that. We take risks in the things that we do in life as well. I even put it on, and that's a pro because you gain something out of it. If you see it like, if a person sees it like that. I think even like if we take a vacation and you have a good time, you risk getting on the plane. You know, you don't know if you're gonna make it. You know, you don't know if you're gonna make it to check into your hotel on time or not. If you're gonna miss that connecting flight, maybe you got a connecting flight. You know, I try to fly one way straight, you know, but maybe you got a connecting flight. It's a risk. It's an uncertainty. You're risking getting on that plane, and maybe they delayed, they don't get up off the runway fast enough, and you miss your connecting flight. Uncertain risk, a risk that you did, you know, it was a bet. You know, that's the way I'm seeing, looking at now, knowing the definition of it, and then seeing the synonyms, what is actually correlated to, like if the application, since we understand it now that gambling is the action, the whole interaction, then it's like, okay, well, all that is, I don't be gambling every day. That is making don't gamble with your life real, but it's still like real confusing because you gotta gamble. You gotta do. And a lot of things we don't know until we know it. So the majority of things are uncertain because we're taught everything, even from someone or through our own experience. So to me, that's a pro. But we would have to get off the surface of it. So that's where I'm at with it. Y'all let us know what y'all think in the comment section. Or in the comments below, depending on when you're watching the show. And we're going to move to question number 4. Should we draw lines between investing, entrepreneurship, and gambling? Should we draw lines between investing, entrepreneurship, and gambling? What you think, God?
So, in fairness, I think I would need to see the definition of investing. But the way that I understand it, I would liken it to being the same as gambling. Right? So I don't know if there's a difference between those two. But for entrepreneurship, though, however, now that is a gamble, but that's different though, because you're physically working towards something. I don't know. I don't know. Like it's I don't know. Because if you open up a corner store, right, like as an entrepreneur, right, you're a brand new business owner. That corner store might not hit right away, right? Like it might not be in a good location for real, for real. Your prices might be too high. You might not have good lighting. Who knows, right? Like that's still a risk to open up a shop. If you're selling oils or something like that, like here it is, you make it. I guess
you investing in yourself though, right? That's your store.
That's your store. That's what I'm saying. Like
you're investing in your future. You're investing in your business as an entrepreneur,
right? And
you betting on yourself.
But I would also say that I'm gambling on my body too, right? Like
you gambling on everything.
Gambling on everything. It's like
you gambling everything, and you are the person. You are the main person who.
Maybe there is no difference.
It's going to determine whether or not it's going to be. You got a shot at being successful because, like you said, there can be things like, that many people may not come in like you think they're going to come in the first week or the second week or the third week. It may take 6 months for you just to get the word out, and you may try all types of advertisement things until you find the actual one that works and build up the actual clientele.
And in those 6 months, you still got to pay your lights, you still got to pay your rent.
You have to have everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we're gonna bring invest. We're gonna bring investing up, and we get invest to commit money in order to earn a financial return to make use of for future benefits and advantages, to involve or engage, especially emotionally, to make an investment.
That reads completely different. Oh man.
All right. So then we got invest as a verb. Array symbols of office of honor, furnish with power, authority, grant someone control over authority, to endow with quality, to clothe, to adorn, envelop, infuse, to vest in.
Yeah, so invest has a deeper indication, or a deeper meaning, or a deeper. I mean, the very first one, it says commit.
Right, money.
Right, in order to earn a financial return.
Yeah. But when we bet on something, the work is to earn.
Correct.
What's happening is going on, and is the earning. So just because I rolled the dice, like once I let them out my hand, now it's earn it or burn it. You know, it's either earn it, it's either gonna earn it or it's gonna burn it. Either you're gonna get the financial return, you know, pick up your money, or you not.
How would you draw the line, like between the three of these damn things?
That's what we having the convo right now.
Because right now you can easily bob and weave in a conversation all three of those things. and they wouldn't be opposed to each other, right? Because, like I said, as an entrepreneur, that is a gamble, right? Like you are taking a chance, you are risking it all, you are invested on yourself, invested in your product, invested your time, like, but that's all a gamble, right? Like that's, I mean, you literally jeopardizing sweat equity or potential sweat equity that you could be putting on somebody's workforce and guaranteeing a 40-hour work week.
Absolutely.
Right?
Maybe even 80 if you're in the military. You're on active duty.
You ain't like right?
You going 80-12. That's your watch. 80 and 12. 80 hours on, 12 hours off.
Right.
Better make 4 free ones count. And they both have money, risking it, investing it, using it.
And it's the words they're using that make it sound different, right? Like risking is an investment. Like that's
you can lose your money. That's why a lot of the why a lot of the social what do they call them? Because I had to get my name right. When you're not a licensed, when you're not a professional financial advisor, a certified financial planner like CFP or something like that. When you're not one of those and you on YouTube talking, then you have to be a financial influencer.
Oh,
that's real talk.
I was about to call them pseudo.
No, you have to the financial influencers, you know.
Financial influencers.
Because I had to, you know, we got bowls on the table and we still reloading, you know. And I was just like, okay, so you got to understand what you are, because, you know, a person could say, well,
that's so fair.
Well, I got this information from you and I lost my money. You know what I mean? But if you don't indicate these things, you know, I'm not a certified financial planner, you know, a licensed financial
influencer.
Yeah, then I am a financial influencer, you know.
Like, damn, like, why am I listening to you?
So that means it's just my opinion. You know, it's not nothing we ain't signed no contracts or nothing like that. You cannot you cannot hold me liable for anything that you went and did and you didn't do your own research.
I may not have done none of this stuff. That's interesting.
You know. But yeah, God, should we draw lines right now, y'all? We answering our question. Should we draw lines between investing, entrepreneurship, and gambling? And just looking at the definitions and their similarities, like you said, yeah, you could dance around the conversation, a debate, if you want to debate the two words, you know. But they're so similar in what you have to do to get to the goal, to get to the outcome. Yeah. You know, there is uncertainty, like we see in gambling, you know, its definition. There is practice, risking, you know, in a game or bet. You're betting on yourself. Whatever that game is, you know, that game could be the restaurant game, which we call the restaurant business. It could be the landscaping game, right? Where now you're a landscaper. It could be in the farming game where you farming. It could be in the, you know, I don't know, the coffee game. Anything that you in, like, because there are rules, there are regulations, there are restrictions, there are things that only games have, and that's rules. Games always have a rule. You know, whether people follow them or not, all the games got rules. So Investing in the stock market, it's a game. It's got rules. You can't do this. You can't sell this and buy it back within 30 days and stuff like that. You know, you got to wait 30 days before you buy it back. You can't just do this, or you have to wait for this or wait for that, or set these things or do this, you know, when you trading. So everything has rules. It's trading rules, it's purchasing rules, it's, you know, and it's all uncertain. You don't know if you're going to hit. When you're gambling, you don't know if your team, when you're gambling on sports or cards or dominoes or you know, any of them things, cards, you don't know if your card is going to get drawn.
You know, talking about sports, you don't know if your teammates got different, you know, betting plans or whatever, right?
They might be throwing the game. You might be betting for them and they betting against themselves because they already know.
Exactly.
You know.
Terrible.
So that's why I just stay away from that because
damn,
it's no different on Wall Street.
Yeah.
It's no different on Wall Street. You know, it just looks different and it sounds different. But I mean, people talk about the IPOs, you know, SpaceX IPO, whatever, and everybody's talking about that hoopla and stuff, but they don't even understand, like, the people who gonna make the money is the people that already own the shares before the IPO.
Mm-hmm.
All that new money coming in, while everybody coming in, everybody like, oh yeah, I gotta get on the bandwagon. Yeah, I gotta get in there. And it's running up that day. Oh yeah, guess what they looking at? Like, oh wow, yeah, we made about 15, 20 mil. Sale.
All of it.
Sale. You know, you might have bought yours early in the morning, so you looking like, ooh, I'm going to sleep. You wake up the next day like, what in the world happened? They might hold you for about 2-3 days.
Sick.
You know? Yep. So I mean, that's just how the game goes. And that's not illegal. But that's how the game goes though. But when we ask, should we draw lines between them? I don't think we really should draw lines between them. I think they're all gambling. I think they're all gambling. I think investing and entrepreneurship is a gamble. How do you know that it's an uncertainty? How do we know people going to tune in? How we know we're going to get likes? How we know that we're going to get subscribers? How do we know that we're going to get crowd participation in the chat? How do you know? You don't know until you start doing the work and put the action in.
Not for nothing, God. Like even a 9 to 5 is a gamble. Like your boss could be having a bad day. Like
facts.
Like it could be one of those companies that could just not make enough revenue and they might just close down.
And they just might close down. And you've been there for 10 years or 15 or 20 years, and you like, well, I've been here. How y'all just gonna let me go?
I'm just gonna let me go.
Right. And they just like, they just like, look, we trying not to close down, so we gotta let you go.
Facts, right? Facts.
In order for us to be around another 10, 15, 20 years, we gotta let you go because overhead too high. We can't afford to pay you no more, so we gotta let you go. You know, and that was a risk. That, you know, that was an unforeseen risk because person might have got comfortable and not realized, you know, they might not have been privy to the finances. They may have been in another department, not understanding what was going on, you know. So those things happen. It's a gamble. And that's why I was saying, like, I think all of this stuff is a gamble. I think it's all a gamble. When they say don't gamble with your life, that's why I was like, it's confusing. Like, how not?
Yeah, for real. Yeah.
How not? Like, they're, you know, I could see if they changed it to like, don't gamble certain types of ways with your life, then now we really dropping some jewels. Now we giving some knowledge from some experience that wasn't successful. But here's a gamble you can make. This might be beneficial to you. And if that wasn't a thing, then we wouldn't have got so many people to go into the military, because a lot of people, and I go back to that because that was significantly a gamble.
A whole gamble. You put your whole body on the line.
You know, so people have to at some point and say, and I'm saying like, yeah, it didn't turn out the same way for everybody, right?
Correct.
But it still was positive for everybody in some way, in some form or fashion, whatever they got out of it. So nobody still knew, everybody still was uncertain about the end, about how it's going to end. They were willing to make that risk, to risk themselves, like you just said. So, you know, and everybody who joined the military is always scared as hell. I don't care how tough you is on the first few days. Coming off,
yes, I was rock hard. So I wasn't scared of nobody.
Coming off that bus. You know, coming off that bus. You do not know what your life is about to go through or do or happen. And even if you're not scared, you in shock. You definitely alert as hell. Like, okay, what do I do? What don't I do? Shit, there's so many people yelling. I can't hear nothing. Can I hear something?
I hear everything.
I hear everything. Turn it all off. You know, I'm telling you, it's like that, man. But yeah, God. Y'all let us know what y'all think. Smash that like button if you're rocking with us. Should we draw lines between investing, entrepreneurship, and gambling? Should there be lines? Let us know what you think. Is there a difference? What are your thoughts? What are your insights? Let us know. And we're gonna chop it up with you.
Yo, before you move on real quick, God, like, you know, I think this is an important question, because I think that we do, I'm not gonna say naturally, but normally, I think we normalize that there's a difference between investments and entrepreneur and gambling. And even going to work with a 9-to-5, like that's like some people, I can almost hear the argument that that's not a gamble, right? Like I think people like this is an important question, because I'm saying like, nah, there's no difference. It's just one straight line through all of them. You know, just because you can bob and weave, you know, you can use them all interchangeably, and everything is a risk. But I do think that society says that we do make a difference. You know, investment is sexy, or it's prettier, it's cleaner. You know, gambling is low lifeable. Like it's almost criminal. You know, in some places, like entrepreneurship just sounds like, you know, somebody's always going to be struggling or hustling or trying to sell you something. Right? I think people make distinctions, but the reality is it's all the same thing. Like everybody trying.
Yeah.
Some form of fashion, everybody trying.
Everybody is trying, God. Absolutely. Everybody is trying. And it does all correlate. That's why I'm like, you know, I'm thinking that it don't need a line. Thinking that you know, I'm thinking that the line is a blur to confuse.
Yeah.
Like you said, to confuse, because of the demonization of gambling, you know, with the lack of explanation, a lack of examination, you know. That's what I think is. It's a lack. Look, we sound like we rhyming now, but I'm serious, y'all. It's a lack of examination to the correlation of everyday life. You know.
Yeah. That I lazily call just being lazy. Right. People just lazy, right? So we just but yeah, nah, it's yeah.
Because it would be a difference if it's like, nah, there's some good gambles and there's some bad gambles.
Yeah.
You know, we're not saying don't only gambling people is low life, and you know, then we are saying scammers are low life.
No, yeah,
you know,
definitely that.
And thieves, you know,
yeah,
and boosters, yeah, they low lives. You know, and I ain't talking about they wear a lot of polo. I ain't talking about that. You know, not gonna do that.
You ain't lying. I hate thieves, bro.
You know, but gambling though, like everybody gambles. Even they gambling too. They gambling with their life in a way that.
But you ain't live a lot because the casino is, you know, is full of people that are not low lives.
No, they're wealthy people.
Wealthy people, right? You know, great jobs, great careers. You know, upstanding citizens and doing great things in the community, and everybody is, you know, but it does give that negative stigma, right? So
yeah, he's a, you know, the young gentleman from Brooklyn is all good. You know, he's all good in Vegas until now he's in debt for like $500,000. You know, now the news get a hold of it, and it's like the congressperson or the council member from New York was on a vacation in Vegas and up a tab for $500,000 in the casino. Do they have a gambling problem? Or is this the type of people that's running New York? And this, you know, so they could have very well been a upstanding, positive person, but with this negative stigma, like you talk about, all it takes is one incident, you know, for them to have a bad night or to be going through something where they don't have the discipline, and then the gambling turns into a whole scandal.
Yeah.
And it makes it look like they have a problem and stuff like that. So that's why I'd be like, the good gambles.
Yeah.
You know, be the person ordering drinks and making sure that everybody else get real tipsy, and you be cool enough to aid and assist and help folks, you know.
Make sure we just have fun and stay safe.
And stay safe. You know, especially if you know that, like, I'm not gonna be gambling. I'm not gonna be out here with mixed emotions. You know. You know, people be in the casino, God, they be happy as a mother. You be all partying and cool, then they done lost some money, and then they hanging on your shoulder like, why didn't you stop me? I lost all that money. And
why you ain't stop me? It's crazy.
Why you ain't stop yourself? I didn't know you was listening to me like that. I didn't know I was in charge. Okay. I thought we was all adults here at the casino doing what we wanted to do. You know, I already told you, I already said what I was gonna do. I'm gonna make sure we get back to the hotel safe.
I'm doing that right now.
That's all I said. You know. I ain't say I was gonna have 1 or 2 drinks. I'm gonna drink however much I need to drink to make sure that I know I need to get back to the hotel. And I got people too, so I don't want nobody to get hit by a car because they too faded, you know. None of that. So I gotta be on point. I gotta know how much I can drink, what my limit is, what I can handle, and that I'm responsible for what I said. You know, but I wasn't responsible for your bread that you you know, got loose with in the casino. And I seen so many people do it, you know, and regret it. And I'm just like, but you don't feel that way about your portfolio, you know. And if you just came out here to just lose that money, then just why is there not joy in that? You know, because I've been with people too that just like, man, forget that little bit of paper, you know, and then they came back the next day and was gambling twice that much, you know, but they didn't care. They was going to either win it or lose it. They already understood the terms and conditions of the game.
Correct.
When you bet on this in this way, one hand, one hand is all it takes. But Yeah, y'all, let's jump into tonight's Flavor Bombs.
Flavor Bombs, presented to you by DBCHEFTV.
Okay, so we got the Haitian communities in fear after new Supreme Court of the United States TPS ruling. I don't know if y'all know about this, but the Supreme Court is they just changed a lot of rules for temporary protective status, and one of the communities that's really speaking out about this now is the Haitian community. But everybody is affected. Anybody who is over here and they have what's called temporary protected status, like you might be going back to your country. So just be aware of that. But we're gonna go check out that story. Then we got New York public schools may be extending the school year. And what we're gonna do is we're going to see just what the people are saying in New York, about it. It's a little, people got some stuff to say, and y'all can give us y'all opinions. And then we're gonna head to Tampa, where Kanye West this weekend threw a amazing concert, and the Tampa officials tried to stop Ye from performing, but they failed. So we're gonna go check out that story, y'all.
Well, landmark decision by the Supreme Court will have major implications for South Florida. We're home to one of the largest Haitian communities, and those on temporary protected status are now at risk for being deported. NBC6's Jamie Garola is live in Miami to break down the ruling. Jamie.
Yeah, Jawan, there are some immediate consequences to this ruling. As you mentioned, there's the risk of deportation, automatic loss of employment, and in some cases, some people could lose their driver's license. Now, this may be scary to some people, but immigration attorneys say now is not the time to panic.
It's a death sentence.
Farah LaRue isn't sugarcoating how she feels about Thursday's Supreme Court decision. She arrived to the U.S. from Haiti in 2005. In 2010, she got temporary protected status, or TPS. Congress created the program decades ago to help those fleeing armed conflict or natural disasters. LaRue is one of more than 300,000 Haitians enrolled. Haiti has been in a state of emergency since 2024 and is in humanitarian, economic, and political turmoil.
For me, I'm a high-profile personality in the Haitian diaspora, and I was a famous TV host in Haiti. So that exposed me right there to be kidnapped and to be maybe to be killed.
In a divided ruling, the conservative majority found
only if you don't pay
that President Trump and the Department of Homeland Security have the authority to terminate TPS, and lower courts can't second guess it.
Why is it important for kids to be in school?
Okay. What you got on this, God?
Specifically for Haitian people specifically, like that's crazy. But like I think to your point about how it affects other people, I think one of the things that the sister said that she called it a death sentence. I've seen something recently where they was talking about how people returning back to Jamaica, for instance, are being kidnapped and ransomed and killed and stuff like that. And I'm wondering if people coming back from America, going back to their hometowns, are looked at as not necessarily like traitors or whatever, but like I don't know, negatively, right? So sending them back it sounds crazy. Like, I don't know. That's just one of the other things where, like I say, man, I don't understand why anybody come here, right? Like, you got the whole World Cup here and all that stuff that went through with all this immigration stuff and everybody that's here. Like, it's just wild to me, man. I don't understand any of this, to be honest with you, bro. Prayers for all the Haitians and everybody that's on temporary protected status. Get your papers right, or like, I don't know, is that even a get your papers right scenario? Like I think like I think that is your status, right? Like TPS, like how do you go from TPS to the next thing?
I don't know, God. I don't know how you would go from. I don't know how a person would go from TPS to the next thing, God. Like,
yeah,
you know, like they may need to talk to or speak with a immigration attorney,
right?
You know, that's what to me seems like the wise thing to do. Speak to an immigration attorney, to find out what your options are. I can't imagine. I can't imagine how that feels. Like this is the thing. See, like personally, I've been in the ocean, working with Haitian refugees. Okay, like I've seen people coming from Haiti in boats, coming to the U.S. trying to get asylum. I've been to Haiti for the earthquakes. I've been to Haiti for repat missions. Okay. Haiti is messed up. And I understand when she's saying, like, if she go back, then they probably gonna kidnap her. You know? So that's a normal, that is a real reality for wealthy Haitian people that are here in America. And I don't necessarily think that, I don't know. I can't say that because I don't know how I would feel if I was there. But if she thinks she's gonna get kidnapped, she's gonna get kidnapped.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, she said that was like, she said that too regularly though for me, God. Like she said that like like it was just like regular part of the conversation or the culture. Maybe not the culture, but the current environment.
Of Haiti, yeah, big time. Without a doubt. It's 100% like that. So that's why I'm just like, man, I don't know if she, you know, if how other Haitians feel about that, you know, because all Haitians aren't wealthy. You know, that's not to say that they're a poor group of people, but I'm just saying though, like all Haitians aren't wealthy to have that feeling. It may be some other Haitians, we just caught her in this thing. It may be some Haitians that's like, damn, I don't want to go back, because who wants to go back to a place that is in turmoil versus being in the ghetto here?
It's way different.
Way different. It's running water.
It's way different.
It's a corner store, you know. You know, like for real. Like it's a police you might be able to trust, you know. You know, so I mean, it's totally different. It's totally different. So, like you said, God, prayers to all the Haitian people, man. Stop by say, you know, I don't know what to tell y'all though. I don't know what to tell y'all, because it's not even one of the moments where it's like, damn. You know, now the Haitian people finally getting treated like us. Like, it ain't even on that. It's just like,
what do you say?
Like, damn, like I wouldn't even wish, had I not been there, you know, it may be different. Like I might have a whole lot of jokes out of ignorance. But because I've been there, I cried when I went to Haiti the first time. I cried. You know, like, and I had to hide my tears because it was other people looking at me because I wasn't there on vacation. So, you know, I can't imagine that. Like I had already been traumatized just for our reason for going there in the first place, for the repat mission. I had already been traumatized through that experience, you know, but like getting there, it just made it even worse. It just made it like, it just was so sad. I just was sad and like, Like you ain't never had to live like this in your life. Never. Like not even when you was struggling. Not even when you was a whole bum out here. Like you like when I was a teenager going through my little, trials and tribulations, like, I kept some money, so, but I'm like, my living conditions wasn't always the best, what I was subjecting myself to. And when you look at that and you just like, man, like, this is crazy. This is crazy, God. It's crazy.
That wasn't limited to just Haitians, though, was it? Do you know?
No, it's not. That's what we're saying.
It's to all TPS, right?
It's to all, anybody with TPS.
Damn.
You might be having to reset your GPS for real. Because you might be going back from whence you came. For real. Yeah.
I guess you can try to make it to Canada, right?
Immigration is not an African American problem. Okay.
I don't know.
Okay. Immigration is not an African American issue. You know what I'm saying?
As an African American, like if I put my head
I'm supposed to have sympathy. Nah, I don't got no sympathy.
Not sympathy, but I'm just talking about if I ran once, I'm gonna just keep on running, right? Like we just gotta like.
No. I never ran.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying though. If I put myself with my thoughts into the why you left in the first place, and now there's an idea that you might send me back. In my mind, I'm just
run somewhere else, right? Run to Canada now. Run to Mexico.
Just keep on running, I ain't never left. I ain't never left no place purposefully, so I don't know.
Ain't gonna work.
I don't know how that works. Like,
ain't gonna work, God. Running to Canada ain't gonna work. You Haitian, you run to Canada, it's not gonna work. Running to Mexico, I'm trying to figure out how that works. Now, a lot of Haitians do speak Spanish, so it wouldn't be that bit of a language barrier.
That's true.
But Mexico ain't Dave.
They're not black friendly.
You know what I'm saying? Right. They still gonna be Mayates. So
yeah, that's crazy. I don't know.
Yeah. Like it's still gonna be that. So I don't know why anybody, I would do anything other than maybe work on a coalition of coming together and seeing how they can, maybe get some resources down there, some protective resources before they go. That's it. Because it's gonna be different because the weak will be picked over, by what appears to be the strong man in that environment. It's a real sad story, but I'm just like, now we have compassion, but I don't have no sympathy, y'all. I'm gonna be honest. I got compassion, and I do have Haitian friends and Haitian people who I love,
That's all facts.
But I can hide you for a little bit, you know what I'm saying? But if ICE come to the door, I'm telling you, we're not breaking up my stuff. So like I can hide you for, you can come chill with me. But I'm saying if ICE come knocking on the door, when they come, it's gonna be no resistance,
Definitely the wrong complexion to resist.
I'm trying to tell you, like you will be taken in custody without incident. Just know that before you come to Pearls. You know what I'm saying?
This is a terrible conversation, guys. Yeah, God, like this is crazy. Like,
is that real? Because who knows if now with this TPS thing having, like we seen ICE go to the airports to help out But it's now with this new law, there's now this a resurgence. So it's like, okay, we got a list. Go get them.
Because they do got a list, because the people are on the status. They got like, they know exactly, like,
go get them. So do we see the ice? Is ice about to? Is it about to be a cold summer? You know, is ice about to pop back out?
Because they not illegal. They actually registered.
Yeah.
They on a whole list.
Right. They had the TPS. So no more for you, no more for this person, no more for this person, no more for this person, no more. That's it's not even a difficult, it's not even you have to go round up and look for illegals and look for illegal
you know where
activity. They at. You got addresses because they was trying to do it by the book.
Damn.
So that's why it's even sadder. But you know.
Damn, that's messed up.
You know, so people have to realize, like it's about to be a lot of housing that's empty.
This is America, son. It's America.
It's about to be a lot of
houses empty, right? For
real. A lot of housing is empty. A lot of less people spending money. You know, we about to see a whole economy change and everything because of all of these people. Now, if you get the order to deport all these people, and by the way, because we pointed this out on Brunch with the Fellas with Cold Season, this law, this bill that was finally pushed through, or this challenge, initially was put in motion by President Barack Obama.
Hey.
Under his leadership, he wanted to end TPS. Okay. Then the Trump administration in their first term, they struggled with it because his first term was just like
get out of here.
You know, like get out of here, you know. And then the Biden administration abandoned it. They just said, no, we don't want to do that. And that's why we saw so many people come over during the Biden administration, because they was just like, forget all the immigration rules. We don't want to touch it. Open borders. Trump came in, and then he readopted this bill along with other stuff, and Supreme Court is rocking with it. So that's the history of it. Y'all can go check that. It ain't no salt on Obama name. He got a museum that's open now in Chicago. Y'all should go check it out. I think it's a nice place. It's like a whole little cultural center. But yeah, that's what he did. You know, so I think all of those Latinos and Hispanics and Asian people and Haitian folks and all non-African Americans, all right, but y'all colored because y'all minorities, all right. Think all y'all should.
Colored. You know what's funny about that? Not like ha funny, but like I'm listening to so many of these continental Africans, comedians talk about how the N-word, they get called that here, and it has no relevance for them. It has no historical impact. So they don't take no offense or no nothing. They just laugh and just, you know, it's just a word. But they are 100% colored in this scenario, son.
100%. They 100% colored.
Like damn.
Yeah, that's why I'm laughing at it, but that's because I know that we've been, you know, like that. They don't care about us, you know. They always say, you win. They just say we don't care. We don't care with y'all. We don't care about y'all. You know,
it was legal.
It was legal. We don't care. We don't care. We don't care.
We don't care.
We do not care. So nobody stood up and said anything about that, about the injustices of that for Black people in America. Nobody stood up saying, you know, like, how could a country do this? How could a country do that to Black people? And they built this and they did this and they went through all of these traumas and dramas and look at the residual effects and none of that, right? Nobody from the Asian community, they talking about, if you don't shop with us, then you won't get your TVs, your Nikes, and your, you know what I'm saying? Like, they not rocking with your Siva, you know? So like, you know, a lot of the Latin community get more chocolate than me and you. I'm no black. I know black Poppy. You know what I'm saying? So you're gonna get that. You're gonna get so I mean, now what? Now what? You hate me. But what about when somebody hates you? Right? Am I supposed I'm not supposed to laugh at it too and act like I don't see nothing, act like I don't hear nothing, and only do what benefit me when it benefit for me? Because there's more people doing that than saying, hey, you know what? I apologize. I was wrong. Blah, blah, blah. Let's work out thing out. Blah, blah, blah. Ain't nobody doing that. So the commander-in-chief said, y'all got to go. So guess what? We don't have to go yet.
So far, the only place we can go is to jail.
We don't have to get right. And the only place they really trying to get us in is jail. And I've managed to figure out self-discipline to not gamble with that. You know?
Man.
So, so at the end of the day, it's just like, it's sad. It is a very sad. We laughing, but that's to keep from crying. But we got so many other things that if we wasn't laughing about, we could be crying about.
Yeah.
You know?
And really, I really don't have any words. Like, I have no idea what to say to offer at all, God. Like, that's such a...
Okay.
Yeah.
For sure, God. Yep. So let's go ahead and jump into this other one real quick. Boom. We right here.
Why is it important for kids to be in school?
Well, they need to socialize. They need to learn.
To get an education, to learn about each other, learn about our wonderful city, our wonderful country.
They can learn academics, executive functioning skills, socio-emotional learning.
It keeps them out of trouble.
Social emotional learning.
Keep them educated.
Helps their parents who may work.
Right now, as it is, they have no structure right now. I feel like in today's society, we need kids more in class to learn more. We just need more structure.
I think I saw something that Mississippi is placing higher than New York in certain levels of education. And New York City used to be the pantheon of excellence in the world and in America. And I think we need to raise our level and get our kids all the education and opportunities that they can.
Okay, God, what you think?
Keep the babies in school, listening to them adults. Nobody has a plan. Nobody has a cohesive thought. The brother, how insulting was the brother to say that he compared people in Mississippi getting higher test scores than people in New York, as if people in Mississippi are supposed to be less intelligent. You know what I'm saying?
You peeped that?
Like,
you peeped that? It sounded like he said, yo, New Yorkers are some dumb hicks. That's what he tried to say. Some dumb hicks. That it was so racist what that man was saying. I was like, wow, won't he just say it? Just say it.
The one lady that was rambling off and rattling off things, she threw in social emotional learning, and that's when I realized she was just talking, just to be talking, because that's not even defined or explained.
They don't even teach social studies.
So that's a whole course that's supposed to do a thing that it doesn't do. Right? Like we talk about that later. But nobody offered anything, and I'm saying, like, since those are the adults, at least if those are the example of the adults that surrounded them, then them babies are in trouble. And they need to stay in school and get more education that deals with things that can benefit them, to make them articulate the things that they need in society, right? Those adults couldn't even articulate financial skills, how to cook, how to clean house, how to build things, like actually how to be AI proof, right? Like my thought process is if you're gonna keep my son in school longer, I'm thinking I'm doing this to make him, AI proof, to get him to where, he'll be able to have a skill to where, it'll at least take AI another 20 years to put him out of work kind of thing, right? But they was
no doubt. It need to be something like that. It need to be something like that.
And they're in good spirits, but in the days leading up to this concert, public officials and politicians were calling for the shows this weekend to be canceled because of past comments made by West. Kanye West is a man with no shortage of controversy.
It's not political. This is not about right versus left. As I said earlier, it's right versus wrong.
And a man with no shortage of fans.
Kanye, we outside, man. We rock with you, bro. And we lit it. Let's do it.
It just shows his fandom.
It's as expected. Like,
he's back. He really is.
You can't get rid of this man. West, now known as Ye, kicked off the first of 2 Tampa concerts Friday night. While fans welcomed his visit,
I specifically want to hear All the Lights live. If I hear them trumpets come in, I'll be set. I can go home.
Critics condemned past anti-Semitic comments, with thousands signing a change.org petition for the Tampa Sports Authority to cancel the concerts.
I know many of you are simply looking forward to a night of music with your friends. Loving an artist's creativity doesn't make you an anti-Semite, but I implore you to consider the unique power that you hold in this moment.
Now, the contract for the event explicitly states the shows cannot be canceled for prior or past public statements. And so, Friday night, fans who say they are separating a polarizing artist from his art got their show.
Yes, they did. They got their show.
That's what I'm saying, God. Perfect example of how morality is man-made, and I can't really trust it because all those people showed up for real, God. Like, that place was packed.
Super packed.
And the city was like, no, morality.
I don't think it was the city. I think it was a few people from a certain community that was like, we gonna try and shut it down, but they couldn't shut it down though.
Way too many people out there.
They had paid their money. They wanted to see Ye.
Good on him.
They wanted to see Ye, but definitely, God, on all those topics, man, we had the young lady from Haiti, the Haitians having to go back. That is a horrible thing.
Yeah.
To all of them. And then we had the school system and everything, like you were saying, God, if they're gonna be in school longer, then there should be things that could benefit them better than what the people who have been to school could offer up in the question being asked. Like crazy. Like, we need the baby smarter than those people, clearly.
That's what I'm saying.
And shout out to Kanye West, man, doing this thing. Yeah, man, like, Kanye is entertaining, and that's what he's gonna do. So
you've just been Flavor Bomb, and now back to our show.
Yeah, y'all. So if y'all just joined us, please smash that like button. We are at our 5th and final question of the evening. We have been smoking on gambling. And our last question, never the least, is the word gambling bad, good, or misunderstood? The God Ali Dawood at BK Soul Farm.
Peace, God.
Peace, God.
So for me, I'm gonna have to say that especially from this conversation, gambling is bad, good, and misunderstood.
Oh, 3.
Yeah, right. Like it's bad for all the obvious addiction things that you spoke about earlier, and all of the risk and all that stuff. But it's good because like you do have to gamble on yourself, right? Like everything that you do is a risk, is a choice, is a gamble, is an option. You just don't know what the outcome's gonna be. And because of that is why I'm saying it's misunderstood, because we will apply other words to it, not thinking that it's all the same thing. Right. So, I guess it's kind of like, when you put on different clothes, it make you feel like you can do a different job, or you're smarter now because you got on some people put on a doctor's coat or a judge's robe, and now they feel more.
Never. Not even on Halloween. Not even on Halloween. Not even on Halloween. I never put on a surgical jacket and was just like, oh.
I seen something like that, guy, and they was like, yeah. If you put the right
Hauser, MD, Pearl Hauser, MD. Just I put my glasses on and I put my coat on and had a little stethoscope. I am a full doctor. Dr. Pearl, Dr. Pepper. That's about it. Nah, we can't know. Not even at Halloween, God. But I feel you.
But yeah, right. So, and that's why I say it's misunderstood, because people are playing with these words and playing with meanings and not actually looking at definitions. So it kind of makes it all tricky. So for me, it's bad, good, and misunderstood.
No doubt, God. I'm rocking with you on that too. I think it is bad, good, and misunderstood as well. And that's we got bad, good. The Cigarden Panel unanimously agrees that it is bad, good, and misunderstood. But yeah, for all those reasons. And I just think that people should understand that. It's, really should take some of what we were smoking on tonight and really ingest it, because we learned a lot, and we was able to tie things together. A lot of the sayings that we came up on, scared money don't make no money. Don't gamble with your life. Those type of things like that all involve a gamble, all involve risk, all involve uncertainty, fear. What were some of the other things we got in that? Staking, offering, jeopardizing, venturing, speculating, in danger, hazarding yourself, chancing, betting. It's all a bet. And I will say this, the best bet is on yourself. Always. But y'all let us know what y'all think. Is gambling bad, good, or misunderstood? And that was all our questions for tonight. Our first was, what do you think of when you hear the word gambling? Is gambling a moral issue, a financial issue, or a personal freedom issue? What are the pros and cons of gambling being normalized in today's culture? Should we draw lines between investing, entrepreneurship, and gambling? And last but never least, is the word gambling bad, good, or misunderstood? We always want to know what you think in the comment section below, and we always will respond to it. What we gonna be back? We're gonna be back the day after 4th of July. Now we're gonna be back a couple of days after 4th of July, right? So we want everybody to have a happy 4th of July, and also a peaceful, positive, and productive start to your week. Yeah, have a safe holiday, y'all. Don't blow your hand off. Okay. Mess around with some fireworks.
It ain't worth it.
Don't burn your house down. Okay. Set your garage on fire. All right. Y'all be safe out there. Eat good. Get some good grilling. It's a perfect day for all that. And eat your slice of watermelon. some watermelon,
Put
you
some
know,
pepper on it.
with some seeds on it. You with some seeds in it. Yes, indeed. And yeah, and like we always say, y'all, we not the gurus. If you like something that we smoking on, pick it up, have a smoke. If not, leave something in the ashtray for somebody else to come by and take a toke. We thank everybody for pulling up and hanging out with us tonight. Shout out to lovely ATV. What up, Bug? I seen you in the chat. And everybody else who pulled up, who we couldn't mention, who we didn't get to mention. We didn't forget you. We just didn't get to mention. And yeah, y'all. Links in the description. We'll see y'all next time. Chef or Pearl at DBCHEFTV, BK Soul Farm, the guy Ali Dawood. Links is in the description, merch, all that, y'all. Smash that like button. Until next time, peace, God.
Peace, God.
This whole publication is all about going from nowhere to somewhere, right? Being able to stand on something so that you can travel in peace, right? So bksoulfarm.com, 1016, 160 self-sustainability. Jump on the list and get yourself together, right? Because it is irresponsible to not even know what responsibility means. So get yourself together, food, clothing, and shelter, protection of that, support your interests, and live.
Love ain't always easy, and we won't stop until we get it right. So bring that ass to the Love Speak podcast. Subscribe today and let your love speak at TLS Podcast. The Love Speak, now streaming on YouTube. If it's Friday night and you don't have a date, then brunch with the fellas is your spot, so don't be late. We go up at 9 p.m. with the trending topic news. Smash the like, comment, subscribe, and share the content. Don't be rude at Brunch Fellas, now streaming on YouTube. You are the key to your financial freedom, so unlock your inner wealth with financial fundamentals at Bows on the Table. Subscribe today and never miss a meal at Bows Podcast. Bows on the Table, now streaming on YouTube. At the Veteran Kettle Podcast, we thank you for your service, support, and sacrifice to our country. Listen to real stories of adversity and triumph as we give our best to honor our vets. Subscribe today and watch episodes now streaming on YouTube at TVK Podcast, The Veteran Kettle. Sign up for the newsletter and shop merch and clothing at DBCHEFTV.com.